part of your life. There is a hope that's been expressed in you, the hope of 7 generations, maybe more. This is the faith that they invest in you. It's that you'll do one better than was done before. Inside you know, inside you understand, inside you know what's yours to finally set right. And I suggest to you, and I suggest this is the best part of your life. This is a song, comes from the west to you, comes from the west, comes from the slowly setting sun.
This is a song with a request of you to see how very short the endless days will run.
And when they're gone, and when the dark descends, we'd give anything for one more hour of light. May I suggest, this is the best part of your life.
Over the last
Welcome everybody to our First Parish online Vespers service. Our tech this evening is Leslie Nalkin, and I'm Dara Bryans, the First Parish Needham's ministerial intern. And we are both part of the rotating leadership team for these Thursday Vesper services. And as y'all know, the Vespers is a traditional monastic prayer of the hours, and the Vespers are the sundown prayers of those prayers of the hours. And in our UU Vespers, we may have poetry, music, reading, meditation, prayers, blessing, and always a contemplative practice. We mute all but the leader to create a sacred space, and we record our service so that we can share it with others on YouTube. You may stop your video if you wish to be off camera. Should you have a problem with hearing or seeing something, please bring it to our attention in the chat. And if the technology today doesn't work, or we leaders make mistakes, or we can't figure something out that's going wrong, that's okay. And we'll just take it as part of the practice of being together in this virtual community gathering. In patience and in imperfection, but always in beloved community. We'll do our best, offer what we can, and do better next time. So let us begin this evening with our chalice lighting. Our chalice lighting comes from UU retired minister, the Reverend Robin F. Gray. We join our voices in holy communion of mind and of heart, dedicated to the promises that bind us in compassion, one with another. In this hour, we light the flame that signals our intention to find the sacred in every living thing. So I invite you to settle into this present moment through the power of music with our centering song. It's called Karof, and it's by Batya Levine. The song is sung in Hebrew, and I will put the lyrics into the chat box for us all, so you can see what the translation is.
Hashem, Lecho יקראו באמת קרוב השם לכל קוראיו לכל אשר יקראו באמת. היי ba-da-dee-די, ba-dee-די, dum-dee-די-do. היי ba-da-dee-די, dum-dee-די, da-dee-די-do. היי ba-da-dee-dum-dee-dum-dee-dum-dee-dum-dee-די-do. היי ba-da-dee-די, dum-dee-די, da-dee-די-do. קרוב השם לכל קוראיו לכל אשר יקראו באמת קרוב השם לכל קוראיו לכל אשר יקראו באמת. היי ba-da-dee-די, dum-dee-די, dum-dee-די-do. היי ba-da-dee-די, dum-dee-די, da-dee-די-do. היי ba-da-dee-dum-dee-dum-dee-dum-dee-dum-dee-די-do. היי ba-da-dee-די, hum-da-dee-די, ha-ya-bo, ay-ho, ay-ho, ya-dum-dee-da-do. Ay-ho, ay-ho, hay-da-da-da-da-do. Ay-ay-ho, ay-ho, ha-dum-dee-da-do. Ay-ho, ay-ho, hay-am-bay. Ay-ay-ho, ay-ho, ya-dum-dee-da-do. Ay-ho, ay-ho, hay-da-da-da-da-do. Ay-ay-ho, ay-ho, ya-dum-dee-da-do. Ay-ho, ay-ho, hay-am-bay. Ay-ho, hay-am, ba-da-dee-די, dum-dee-די, da-da-dee-די-do. Hay-am, ba-da-dee-די, dum-dee-די, da-dee-די-do.
Mm. So now we move into our time for sharing our joys and sorrows. So we'll now begin by lighting the candles that represent these joys and sorrows that are present in the quiet that lies among us. Together, let's take a deep breath in and let it out. Release the tensions in our face, in our jaw, in our bodies. Let go of the tension in your shoulders and your limbs as we breathe in and out. And as you continue to breathe deeply, bring into your hearts any sorrows and joys you're carrying with you this week. As we hold each other in this space for our community and for the world, we begin by lighting a candle for the joys. We light the candle for the joys that you're carrying with you in your lives this week, those that are large and small that uplift us and brighten our days. And next, we light the candle for sorrow, because life is not always easy, and each of us carries sorrows, regrets, and burdens. We light this candle for all those sorrows that lie on our hearts. And finally, we're going to light a candle for our beautiful and sometimes broken world. We light the candle for victims of gun violence. We light a candle for the rising numbers of COVID infections. We light a candle for everyone living in war-torn Ukraine and for any other areas that need healing and peace in our world. And as we continue our deep breathing and mindful concentration, please join me in the spirit of prayer. Our prayer this evening is adapted from A Calm, Clear Place by Jezebel Anat. Spirit of quiet spaces, of contemplation and of restoration, let us come into a calm, clear place where we can relinquish our clutter and relax from busyness into being. Let us settle into that calm, clear space where the earth supports our bodies and the community lifts our spirits, where we can breathe in peace and center ourselves in love. Let us welcome our calm, clear space where our hearts can be open and our thoughts can expand beyond the cobwebs of convention into the creative flow of infinity. May it be so, and amen. Our reading this evening is called Empathy is a Choice We Make, and it's written by essayist and novelist Leslie Jamison. Empathy isn't just something that happens to us, a meteor shower of synapses firing across the brain. It's also a choice we make to pay attention, to extend ourselves. It's made of exertion, that dowdier cousin of impulse. Sometimes we care for one another because we know we should, or because it's asked for. But this doesn't make our caring hollow. The act of choosing simply means we have committed ourselves to a set of behaviors greater than the sum of our individual inclinations. This confession of effort chafes against the notion that empathy should always rise unbidden, that genuine means the same thing as unwilled, that intentionality is the enemy of love. But I believe in intention and I believe in work. I believe in waking up in the middle of the night and packing our bags and leaving our worst selves for our better ones. Here ends our reading. So Our practice tonight is going to be a riff on Lectio Divina. And Lectio Divina is a Christian practice of reading passages from the Bible, and they are read multiple times. So you sit quietly, maybe with your eyes closed, however you're comfortable, and someone reads the passage once and leaves a pause. And then they read it again and then pause. And in this true practice, you would read that text maybe 3 or 4 times. And the goal is that with each reading, you notice how it works on your body, you notice what thoughts it brings to mind, you notice different aspects of the passage each time. So I'm not going to read from the Bible. I am, however, going to read 3 different poems. And I'm going to only read them twice in the interest of time. But what I would like you to do is to pay attention to what jumps out at you with the first reading. How does it make your body feel? How does it settle into your body? What insights does it bring? And then with the second reading, the same. Are they different? What jumps out, what you notice? And just let it sit and be held in your body and your mind. And I also want to encourage you that since our theme this month is intention, that you think about each poem has a theme. So to focus on that theme and what intentions come to mind, what intentions does this poem spark within you about how you would like to live in your life into this coming new year. So with that, I am going to begin. And our first reading is called A Blessing for Travelers in the Dark. And it comes from A Circle of Grace by Jan Richardson's. I'm hoping I'm holding that up so you can see it. But we all have times when we feel like we are in the dark, that we are lost and we're seeking, or sometimes that the dark is a great mystery and we are trying to discern what that mystery means for and to us. So, a blessing for traveling in the dark. Go slow, if you can, slower, more slowly still, friendly, dark, or fearsome. This is no place to break your neck by rushing, by running, by crashing into what you cannot see. Then again, it is true, different darks have different tasks. And if you have arrived here unawares, if you have come in peril or in pain, this might be no place for you to dawdle. I do not know what these shadows ask of you, what they might hold that means you good or ill. It is not for me to reckon whether you should linger or if you should leave. But this is what I can ask for you, that in the darkness there be a blessing, that in the shadows there be a welcome, that in the night you be encompassed by the love that knows your name. I'm going to pause for a moment before reading again. A Blessing for Traveling in the Dark by Jan Richardson. Go slow if you can, slower, more slowly still, friendly, dark, or fearsome. This is no place to break your neck by rushing, by running, by crashing into what you cannot see. Then again, it is true, different darks have different tasks. And if you have arrived here unawares, if you have come in peril or in pain, this might be no place you should dawdle. I do not know what these shadows ask of you, what they might hold that means you good or ill. It is not for me to reckon whether you should linger or you should leave. But this is what I can ask for you, that in the darkness there be a blessing, that in the shadows there be a welcome, that in the night you be encompassed by the love that knows your name. Will be held in a few moments of silence. Our second poem is called Love Loudly by Carrie Gottfried. They are a UU lay leader from Corvallis, Oregon. And I chose this because if we have darkness and mystery, we must also remember that it is balanced by light and love and sight. Open your hearts as you hear this poem to the possibility of living intentionally and to loving loudly. Love loudly, spirit of light, of life, of all that is good and bad and in between. Give me courage and inspiration to love loudly, to share my joy and compassion with others, to let them know how much I appreciate them. We all give and receive love, but loving loudly is one of the greatest gifts of all. And it is so simple. All it requires is one person who is willing to say to anyone and everyone, you are loved. You are worthy of love. You deserve to be loved. Spirit of life, help me spread love throughout my communities. Help me teach others to love loudly so that it begins to circle around so I can hear it too. As we're held in silence, think of the intentions that might be sparked by this poem. Love Loudly by Carrie Gottfried. Love loudly, spirit of life, of light, of life, of all that is good and bad and in between. Give me courage and inspiration to love loudly, to share my joy and compassion with others, to let them know how much I appreciate them. We all give and receive love, but loving loudly is one of the greatest gifts of all. And it is so simple. All it requires is one person who is willing to say to anyone and everyone, you are loved. You are worthy of love. You deserve to be loved. Spirit of life, help me spread love throughout my communities. Help me teach others to love loudly so that it begins to circle around so I can hear it too. Will be held in a moment of silence. Our final poem is our covenant. And we hear this every week. We say it together. And I don't know about you, but sometimes the words tend to lose their meaning. And I stop thinking about what it is that we are covenanting. So I'm going to read this covenant to you. And I'd like you to ask yourself how you can live this covenant beyond our church walls in your everyday life. What does it mean to you to live according to this covenant, Monday to Sunday? What intentions can you discern and set for yourself? Our covenant. We gather as a loving community to encourage and comfort one another. We gather as a diverse community to support each other in our search for spiritual truth. We gather as a service community to live our beliefs through action and care for our world. We'll again be held in several moments of silence. And I read again our covenant, that which binds us together in religious community. We gather as a loving community to encourage and comfort one another. We gather as a diverse community to support each other in our search for spiritual truth. We gather as a service community to live our beliefs through action and care for our world. I invite you into several moments of silence. As you continue to think about these poems, I invite you to sink into the words that were just read to you and the intentions that arose within you. As we listen to the song Romance by Pablo Sainz Viega. I apologize for my very poor Spanish pronunciation. Thank you all for joining us this evening. As we end our gathering, I invite you to take your hands off the keyboard and maybe put your hands on your heart and call to mind your fellow first parishioners who may be physically distant but are spiritually close. And I invite you to receive this benediction, our closing words that come from Colin Bosson. Let us go in the spirit of love, never knowing when or where we may find the divine, yet conscious of the spark within each of us and the unfolding beauty that surrounds us. Let us go in peace. Let us go in love. May our lives be a blessing. Amen. So as usual, we will be ending our time together with a closing song. It's shorter than the other pieces, I assure you. And it's called Kinder by Copper Women. And you are welcome to stay for the whole song or leave when you feel that you need to. If you stay to the end of the song, we will wave goodbye to each other before closing the Vesper service.
I've decided to be grateful for all I ever had. I've decided to let go of all this pain tonight. I've decided to let go of all these demons inside. I know I am blessed. I know all I ever wanted was this. I know I don't need more. I've got what I came for. I've decided to be open to that little voice inside, telling me I'm beautiful. It's okay to be alive. I've decided to be kinder to myself when I feel sad. I've decided to be grateful for all I ever had. I know I am blessed. I know all I ever wanted was this. I know I don't need more. I've got what I came for.
Want to stop the recording?